Hello everyone, welcome to our another lesson. If you watched our previous videos, strongly recommended anyway. Let's repeat it again. We'll do the summary, of course. If you didn't understand it very well, of course, you better go back and watch the previous videos on the playlist. We called this one on purpose simplified tenses. Simplified. This is positive usage. And what were we doing? We were accepting. I would come, I will come, and I come. They're equal to each other. We know there is differences, but we have to accept this one to make both languages club together. So, simple tense or white tense, however you call it, doesn't matter. We accept them equal to each other. Present continuous as is. We're gonna have a look at again. Future tense, we have to accept this is the only future tense. Again, to make it simple and also to make both languages, English and Turkish, club together. Past tense, we're gonna use past perfect because in Turkish, even simple past, even past perfect, there is no difference. So, to understand much better, easy, repeating again, to make both languages, English and Turkish, to club together, we have to accept this is the only past tense while we are learning tenses. After we passed all the lessons, then of course we will see some differences. We will explain them slowly. We told the stem, the root, the core is never changing in Turkish. It's always the same, as you see. Then what were we doing? We were putting the tense suffixes. Tense. The suffixes belong to the tenses. At first, we are only doing this because then we only apply the past tense suffix after the main suffix to everywhere. Of course, depending on vowel harmony and consonant assimilation. We'll mention them on and on again, so you'll get there. The only thing you have to do to write them, instead of just looking at them, write them. And the next day, throw it away. Write them again. In this case, you'll get used to it. The first thing, here, consonant assimilation we call it. If strong consonant we call P, Ç, T, K, strong consonants. Strong consonant means while you're pronouncing them, you really have to spend some energy to make them. P, Ç, te, ke, and their softer versions are be, ce, de, ge. So if you repeat after me, you'll realize them letters, strong and soft versions, they are happening in the same area, in the same place in the mouth. P and B happens in between your lips. P, B. That's why we call this one consonant assimilation. K, K, K turns into soft G. This one. This is strong version. This is soft version of them letters. If you have any question, as a comment, of course, you can ask on YouTube. So if you have any problem, I would explain it there too. What were we doing? We were putting the stem of the verb, tense suffix, which is for simple, then the personal suffix. Stem, core, root of the verb, however you call. Tense suffix, which is equal to ing here, ing, and personal suffixes, depending on, of course, vowel harmony, which is here, dotted group, undotted group, and it follows this rule. Future tense suffix in Turkish, but this time, of course, instead of writing this, I straight away put the correct one. Tense suffix, personal suffix. Tense suffix, personal suffix. As I told many times, you have to write. If you don't write, you have to write as a conjugation. For example, you will take the verb to come, gelirim, gelirsin, gelir, geliriz, gelirsiniz, gelirler. You're gonna write it. Then geliyorum, geliyorsun, geliyor, geliyoruz, geliyorsunuz, geliyorlar. You have to write it. If you don't write, you'll never get there. Geleceğim, geleceksin, gelecek, geleceğiz, geleceksiniz, gelecekler. You have to write. Stop the video somewhere, write it, and throw that paper. The next day, watch the video again and write it again. Throw the paper, because we don't need them papers. We only need them as a tool while we are studying. At the end, just throw away. Because we need them info, them data in our brain, not on papers. Don't be lazy. Geldim, geldin, geldi, geldik, geldiniz, geldiler. If you realize, past tense suffix shortens the personal suffixes. So you will see this one everywhere. Here too. because we applied the past tense suffix, so it's gonna shorten. See here, and then depending on vowel harmony, only this one is anyway. Here, consonant assimilation we said, instead of D, D, depending on vowel harmony, now it is T, because of if the last letter strong consonant, as is here, K, in that case, this assimilate D, which is in soft group of them letters, assimilate to strongest one, because of being strong consonant at the end here. So it makes a, instead of D, it makes it T, as you see here. Here normally it shouldn't be any buffer, but of course there are double past tense suffix. That's why this language puts, to be able to separate them, put Y buffer in between them. Y buffer, we call it simple buffer. Simple buffer means if it's not extended nouns, then this buffer comes everywhere if needed. Anyway, what were we doing after doing this? 4 different tenses: simple, present continuous, future, past. We apply this past tense suffix to all of them here. And now we have 8 tenses. 8 tenses. Nothing changed. The rules are there. Now we're gonna change our page. The negative usage. This one positive. Now the negative usage. Our negative suffix in Turkish is me. Depending on vowel harmony, it can be me or ma. Okay. So this one makes a negative suffix. Sorry. Suffix. Personal pronoun in English. Personal pronouns. So, before it was I would come. Now I wouldn't come. We put, in English, we put not there. Not there. So equal to me, ma, negative suffix in Turkish. So we put not in English, not, to make them negative. We put not everywhere. Right. So Turkish sorts this issue with me or ma. Let's have a look. In simple tense, it is mez or maz. Simple tense, mez or maz. As an exception, this one hasn't got that, and this one hasn't got this, but this one has the y, yeah, buffer, and this one hasn't got the e. It drops, we call it. As I told you many times, you have to write. If you write, for example, gelirim, gelmem, gelirim, gelmem, gelirsin, gelmezsin, gelir, gelmez. From here and there. If you write them positive, negative, then because of you write and you hear, you heard it anyway, just now you're hearing it. And while you're writing yourself, you're gonna read it too. So in this case, you'll just get used to it. If you only watch the video and leave it as is, then you will never get there. You will never learn. Write it down. Write them. Throw it the next day. Write it again. Throw it the next day. Write it again. So what we said, that mema here, because of the root is one syllable, usually if more syllable, then we take reference the last consonant, which is a here. So because of it is a everywhere, that's why it is me. Depending on consonant, the vowel harmony, we apply me. Right. In simple tense, it is usually mez, but this one and that one, first person and fourth person or first plural, has exceptions. This one gelmeyiz, we wouldn't come, or we don't come. If you realize here, I put me everywhere, but because of, I don't know, maybe because of to make it not to get very long, they put the e off. We call it, it drops. So it is gelmiyorum. It was geliyorum before. Remember? It was geliyorum before. Geliyorum, I'm coming. Now, gelmiyorum. I'm not coming. The e drops. This one, it was geleceğim, even the, in this case y is not there. Now it is gelmeyeceğim. You're gonna write it. Geleceğim, gelmeyeceğim. Geleceğim, gelmeyeceğim. This one, before it was geldim, positive, when it was positive. Now, gelmedim. So it is I have not come, or I haven't come. Again, to make it past tense, to make all of them, or to put all of them in the past, into the past, we apply the past tense suffix everywhere, after the main suffix. Here, all of them mes, not like here. Here, all of them mes. There are even some dialects, they use this one, gelmezim and gelmeziz, as well. But this Istanbul Turkish, they made it this way, so we accept that one, that rule, and we follow it. So we applied the past tense suffix here, everywhere. And we put the negative everywhere. See, negative, negative. So, gelmek is to come, gelmemek is not to come. Any verb, gelmek, gelmemek, koşmak, koşmamak, gülmek, gülmemek, gezmek, gezmemek. So, as long as you know the rule, the negative suffix comes just after the verb, everywhere, just after the verb. You can remember this one from here, gelmek, gelmemek. To come, not to come, to come, not to come. Of course, in the future, we're going to write the conjugations, right? Gelirim, gelmem, positive and negative most of time, and we're gonna do the questions too. So after sorting, after learning these tenses, you will be able to express all of your feelings. In the future, there are a few more things to add, but as a beginner, you only need to know these tenses so you can understand everyone all around Turkey. I can only advise or recommend things because the table is in front of your eyes. The things you can do is watching and listening to these videos over and over again. So you will let your sensors to realize, to involve, to help your brain to do the process, to do the job. That's the only things I can recommend. And writing, always writing and throwing your notes, throwing them away. That is the only things I can recommend it to you. Thanks for watching. Hope you find it interesting. This is a very interesting table. You wouldn't see it anywhere else because it gives you the full control. You can see everything for the 8 tenses. You can see all of them in once. Take this picture in your brain and don't forget it. Always write, always read, and always watch. If you don't understand anything, if something confuses you, you can write your comments under the video on YouTube, and when I see them, I will answer them. In winter, I would answer them promptly. In summer, I cannot promise because I'm working a lot. Thanks for watching. I hope it's gonna help. See you in another lesson.